the Wild Turkey Austin Nichols 16-year gold foil, whew, that's a long name, is one of the most anticipated and well-reviewed whiskeys of 2026. And so a lot of people compare this to the titans of the past, right? The Russell's Reserve 15-year, Wild Turkey Masterski Beacon, or even the 80s and 90s, the Wild Turkey 101 12-year that we like to call cheesy gold foil. But I don't want to do that. I want to compare it to something that you might be able to find today, which is going to be this. The Russell's Reserve 13 Spring 2026 batch, the Eddie Russell's 45th Anniversary Edition. So after having a pour of each, I'm gonna let you know 3 things. First, are these even worth their gaudy retail prices? The Russell's Reserve 13 comes in at a whopping $200 retail price. And of course, the gold foil, double that at $400. So that's gonna be a high bar to set. And the second question, which is even funnier considering that the retail price is so high, it's almost impossible to find it at that price. It sells out quickly at those prices. So I'll let you know what is the max I'll pay for one of these if they're even worth the retail price. And the last question, is it worth the upgrade? Is it worth hunting for, searching for, begging for the gold foil that's much harder to find and much more expensive rather than the Russell's Reserve 13? Hard to find, but relatively easier to find, and of course, half the cost. So I'll let you know right now. Oh yeah. Welcome to Whispering. My name is David. As many of you guys know, the new Wild Turkey Gold Foil pays homage to the original Wild Turkey 101 proof 12-year that came in a cheesy gold foil label. And even though the label was cheesy, the whiskey inside was one of the best whiskeys that a lot of people say they ever had. And is one of the more famous, the older American whiskeys, or what we like to call Dusties today. And so Bruce Russell wanted to recreate that experience with this. Now, Bruce Russell is a fan of bolder, more oomph, more powerful bourbons and whiskeys. And so what did he do? He amped up the age to 16 years. And also he amped up the proof to 120. So hopefully the taste profile might remind us of the original cheesy gold foil, but at a more powerful, more better experience. And so while the gold foil has been enjoying a lot of success, the other end of the spectrum is the Russell's Reserve 13-year. Now, it does still sell out, but a lot of people have been complaining about it, especially the last couple of batches. The first 3 batches that came out in 2001 and 2022, man, they were some fantastic whiskeys. And the price was awesome. It was $70. I believe the 2022 batch, number 3, was $100 retail price. And for 13-year Wild Turkey barrel proof whiskeys, that wasn't a problem. Starting in 2023 and last year's batch, they increased the retail price to $150 and $200. So a lot of people had a problem with that, but they're like, okay, the price goes up, but if the quality goes up, that'll be fine. Well, unfortunately, the quality has come down ever since batch 3, batch 4, batch 5, and batch 6 has gotten mixed reviews. And so batch 7, or in this case, spring 2026, wasn't as hyped up. People weren't excited about it. But the one change is the fact that it puts Eddie Russell's 45th anniversary on the label. So they're hoping, and I'm hoping, they did something special to it to bring the Russell's Reserve back to the greatness that it was back in 2021. But the main reason I wanted to compare these two are in the stats. First, I'll skip the age, because that's actually the most important part of the stats. Proof, this one, the Russell's Reserve 13 is slightly higher at 121.2 compared to 120. The mash fill is the same. The price, as I mentioned, the Russell's Reserve 13-year is about half the price. The retail at $200, but even the secondary is about $300 to $350, while the gold foil, the retail is $400, but the secondary is about $650, $700. But the real reason I want to compare this is the age statement. Now, obviously the age statement is 13-year versus 16-year, so this should win, right? but you could be wrong. The Gold Foil is a blend of 16-year Wild Turkey bourbon distilled at the former Austin Nichols distillery that's gone. And it's from barrels that was aged at Camp Nelson D, E, and F, which is actually really cool. Those are Bruce Russell's favorite rickhouses. But the Russell's Reserve 13, even though it has the age date of 13-year, it's a blend of 13, 16, and 18-year Wild Turkey bourbons. And there are some sites that say that the majority of the blend is the higher 16, 18. And a lot of people are saying the 13-year, even though it's age dated at 13, by the time it was blended, it was almost closer to 14 years. So the average age, this might be higher. As I always say, I can't answer any of the questions by just talking. So no more, let's get drinking, opening ceremonies. Ooh. All right, these have been sitting here for about 15 minutes. I gave it an extra 5 minutes to make sure they open up for this review. First one I'm gonna try is gonna be the Russell's Reserve 13, because I wanna save this one for last. So first, the nose. The nose, surprisingly, is very close to last year's batch, the spring 2025 batch, as in it's a little bit more chocolatey and cherry, but it doesn't have any of that Wild Turkey funk that I would expect from a Russell's Reserve. That's I don't want to say disappointing because it is a good aroma, but I was expecting something closer to Russell's Reserve, like the batches 1, 2, and 3. But either way, let's hope that the palate will return back to its glory days. Cheers, guys. Glory days? I don't know. Right off the bat, off the first 2 sips, I can definitely say this is better than last year's batch by a mile. And it's definitely better than batches 4 and 5 that came out in 2023. It's much darker, much oakier. It has that Wild Turkey funk in the palate that I absolutely love. But man, can it beat the Gold Foil? I don't know, but I'm gonna take a couple more sips to get you at least some notes. So on the 3rd and 4th sips, that premium oak darkness opens up with a little bit of stone fruits, red stone fruits, plums, peaches. Is peaches red? Either way, maybe even some raspberries in terms of that jamminess. And then once it goes down in the finish, this is where it becomes a superstar. It's chocolatey, it's oaky, it's dark, it's a little spicy. But then it goes back into that dark oak, that burnt charcoal, but a sweet burnt charcoal that you get in a smoky meat, but that's not savory, that's more sweet. And it's mesmerizing. It's absolutely delicious. Ooh, yeah. So they did something right for Eddie Russell's 45th anniversary. Ooh, this is good. I want to take a short break to thank all of you for watching me drink whiskey. Because obviously without you guys, I wouldn't exist. And of course, my Patreon YouTube members, you guys make these videos possible, because now with the prices going up and up and up, without your support, I can't keep doing this. So thank you. Well, that was a great start, but let's see how much better the Gold Foil is, or is it better? Well, let's find out. First, the nose. Now I see why people compare this to the Russell's Reserve 15 or the Beacon. It does have that rickhouse, dusty, funky oak smell that every premium great Wild Turkey bourbons have. And this one has it, at least on the nose. Wow. So hopefully the palate will be on the same level. Cheers, guys. Not sure. Not sure at all. Wow. One of the surprising parts of the first 2 sips is the fact that I got fruit that I don't get in much other bourbons, let alone wild turkeys. Like a cantaloupe, mango type of feel. Huh, I was expecting something close to this, as in a darker, chocolatey, oakier type of feel. But it definitely was not. That kind of threw me off guard. So I need to take a couple more sips in order to kind of get my arms around this. So I don't know if you guys actually had the newer Wild Turkey 101 12 years, right? The international versions, that one that came in a purple box, just feels like it's an amped up version of that one. So if that was at 120 proof, this is what it would remind me of. It has a lot of that tropical juice type of feel. Again, mangoes, maybe kiwis, cantaloupes, melons, a lot of that. But definitely not any of the dark oak, the chocolate, the coffee, or the premium oak that I was talking about that I got from, let's say, Russell's Reserve 13 or even the Beacon. So this is surprising. What the hell? Now, surprising doesn't mean bad, right? Just because you expect this and you get this doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely not a good thing. I don't know what to say. Wow, I'm perplexed. Huh. Well, you know what? The best way to tell which one is better is to go back and forth, and take my time to let you know which one is the one you should buy. What if the gold foil is worth the upgrade from the Russell's Reserve 13? Should be back in about 3.75 seconds. All right, I'm back. That was 20 minutes of pure bliss. I mean, let's be honest, I am privileged. I am honored to have these two whiskeys in front of me and drinking it in front of you guys. I know that it's a very good position to be in, so I do not take that for granted. But at the same time, it was a lot of fun. Let's be honest, I love drinking, especially whiskeys, and to drink these two whiskeys compared side by side is a blessing. But I do have to not only make a decision, but answer questions. So, first question, let's answer the most important question. Is it worth the upgrade? Is the gold foil worth twice the price of the Russell's 13? If both of these were sitting on the shelf at $200 to $400, which one is the one you should choose? The Russell's Reserve 13 Spring 2026 Eddie Russell's 45th anniversary. And I'm gonna be honest, especially considering the price, it's not even close. I think at the same price, I would still take the Russell's Reserve 13 year. This one is darker. It has more oak. It has more chocolate. It has more funk. It has more of the wild turkey that I love. This one is a fantastic bourbon. Don't get me wrong, just because I'm comparing the two best whiskeys that I probably had, or I don't say this year, but to the best whiskeys that probably came out this year, I'm not saying this is bad, but relatively comparing, this is the better bourbon for me. This one is fruity, it's delicious, it has the spice, it has the sweetness, but it doesn't feel like a premium bourbon. It doesn't feel like not only a $400 bourbon, but a 16-year bourbon. It feels like, again, as I mentioned, if it was Wild Turkey, I guess 120 proof that came in a purple box, this will be it. And maybe this is a great comparison because he just retired. The Wild Turkey gold foil feels like it's Russell Westbrook. The specs are great. The stats are great, but there's just something missing. It just doesn't have the winning formula. It feels like this is it. While the Russell's Reserve 13 feels like Clay Thompson. It doesn't have the stats. It doesn't have the notoriety. It doesn't have the awards. But what it does have is winning. It has trophies. And to me, this is the one that I believe should win more trophies in a blind test because it was better. Just hands down better than the gold foil. So the second and third questions. Are they worth their retail price and what's the max we would pay for it? The Wild Turkey gold foil. Let's start with the loser. The loser. Oh my God. So the retail price is $400. Is it worth $400? No, it's not. The name is cool, the experience is cool, the box is cool, but the actual whiskey inside, even considering all that, the beautiful bottle, the boxes, all that stuff, it should be about $200 to $250. I don't think it should be more expensive than Russell's Reserve 15. It's a great bourbon. It's a fantastic bourbon. Again, $200 to $150 is not something to laugh at, but it's not the pantheon of bourbons. And so the max I would pay for this is basically $250. So it's not worth the retail price. And I'm never gonna find it for $250. So that's what it is. And so, yeah, it's not worth the money. And then the Russell's Reserve 13. Is this worth the retail price of $200? Obviously, yes. It's the best Russell's. It's the best wild turkey I had since Russell's Reserve 15. I might have to do a comparison, like in, I don't know, privately or whatever, but I think this is better than the Beacon. This is wonderful. This is fantastic. This is what I want in a wild turkey Russell's Reserve. So this, I'm gonna try to find backups at 200. But of course, then the main question is, how much would I pay for this? What's the max I'll pay for this? Of course, if I said this is worth $250, I'm gonna pay more than $250 for this. But the max, $300. That's the max. Max. If you don't have one and you have the disposable income and you are dying and you were disappointed in batches 4, 5, and 6. You never had batches 1, 2, or 3, or you miss your batch that you tried 1, 2, and 3, whatever. And you want to beacon back to those days. The max I would pay for one of these is $300. This is amazing bourbon. So today, the Russell's Reserve 13, winner. So leave in the comments, have you had these two whiskeys? Am I crazy to say that the Wild Turkey Gold Foil is basically not even worth their $400 retail price? Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time.